Today's sponsor is Audible.com, who has more than 180,000 audiobooks and spoken word audio products. Get a free audiobook of your choice at www.audibletrial.com/shark. Hey everyone, welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I'm your host, John Loswell. Joining me, as always, are my co-hosts, Mark Hoffmeyer.
So I'm driving home the other night, right? And it's a rainy night, and there's this truck in front of me, and it's not pulling any cargo or anything. It's just like a big, what was like the trucks that pull the 18-wheelers, just like the truck itself. And so it's rainy, and I start seeing something. I see like this. I think I see this like furry creature on the back of this truck. Oh no! Right?
Yeah.
And I'm driving. I'm like, that's a furry creature on the back of the truck. So I drive around so the furry creature doesn't see me. I just look straight ahead. And I put down the window, and there's this like mulleted guy in a cutoff shirt driving this truck, and he's driving terribly, by the way. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's just talking on his CB like to nobody. And so I'm like, I'm mouthing to him, pretty dangerously, but I'm like, there's a monster on the back of your truck. And he's like, what? I'm like, there's a monster on the back of your truck. And then he looks at me and goes, screw you, rolls up his window and floors it about 100 miles an hour past me. So if anybody else saw this monster on the back of the truck, just let me know, because I feel like I'm going crazy.
You think when he floored it, the monster kind of fell out like of a truck bed? Like
No, because the monster was flicking me off too. Like, I feel like the monster heard what he said and just went along with it. I was like, not only did I have this molted, sleeveless shirt trucker yell at me, but I have a monster flicking me off.
Oh man! What do you guess? You were in Florida.
Yeah,
driving through Florida. Yeah, we get those trucker types in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been skunk ape, but who knows?
John Levingood, what weird highway stories can you tell?
I got weird highway stories. I've got no highway stories. You just made me think of National Lampoon's Vacation, where they got tracked, or the Christmas Vacation, where they got trapped under the truck.
Oh yeah,
where he pulls over and he's literally underneath the trailer of a truck while it's driving.
Yeah.
So National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, we're seeing like memes all over Facebook now, right? We're recording right now. It's December 10th. Christmas is in 2 weeks. And I see all these memes. I'm at the grocery store today, and by the aisle, they have these impulse buys in the cooler. It's for eggnog. And I immediately thought of Clark Griswold and drinking eggnog, like in his living room. And so I'm just like, screw it, I'm going to get some eggnog. Now, folks, I like to think I'm a smart person. I realize everybody in the universe likes to think they're a smart person. But I realized something today. Now, I don't know what I did wrong, but I don't think I know how to do eggnog. Like, is there a way to do eggnog wrong? I thought that you purchased eggnog, poured a little bit of liquor in a cup, filled the rest with eggnog, and you had eggnog hooch.
Yeah, I think that's how it's usually done, right? No one ever...
you can blend it up. I had some blended stuff the other day. It was like ice, eggnog... bourbon. We put ice. We put a nice mixer bourbon, and then some eggnog, and we blended it up. Had nice egg, and then cinnamon around the. I think it was cinnamon around the cup.
Isn't
the top.
Eggnog supposed to be like creamy?
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah. So what I bought, right? And I bought the nice one. I bought this almond milk eggnog.
Oh, that's why. That's why, man.
That's why, because
you got to buy the generic. You got to buy the generic.
This was even more watery than regular milk.
You got to get like the hot dog vendor.
Like eggnog. I had three sips of this, and this is like $1 a cup of eggnog, and I poured a precious shot of alcohol in there, and it was just terrible.
You know what I did the other day that was really great? Get the hot dog vendor eggnog, the cheap stuff, right?
And the hot dog vendor eggnog.
And then put a bourbon on the side. My father-in-law and I did this the other day, and we would drink some eggnog, and then we would drink some bourbon. So like you would get the bourbon taste, but it'd be a little sweeter because of the eggnog aftertaste. So don't even pour them in. Just have just double fist eggnog and bourbon and go boop.
But that wouldn't have solved my problem. My problem was that the eggnog was this watery, like just texturally, it made it bad.
I mean, I do almond like milk in my shakes and everything like that. I'm a big fan, but you got to do like eggnog.
Yeah, because eggnog, don't you have to use like real cream or whatever goes in eggnog?
Maybe that's why that and some blender, because even Clark Griswold, he'll take a sip and he'll have that tiny bit of a eggnog mustache. This stuff didn't do that.
No, yeah, you got to go back, get the cheap stuff, and drink
cheap stuff.
Do some Jack in one hand, eggnog in. Well, that's Tennessee whiskey, but
I feel like I'm getting advice from Clark's cousin Eddie.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, no, Clark, you got to get the cheap stuff. That's from God's country. That's the good stuff.
That's right. Don't do that fancy eggnog.
Yeah, almond milk eggnog. What were you thinking?
No, just because it was well, the cheap container had such an uninspired label that like I felt better than it. Like
that was your mistake.
I don't know how to do it. And then I saw it for $2 more. I could get the almond milk one. I'm like, I'm going to keep it classy.
Eggnog ain't classy. It's called eggnog. Eggnog is the least classy name ever.
I have a confession to make. I hate eggnog.
Okay, hold on. Julep is not a classy word, but mint juleps are for classy people.
Yeah, but mint julep sounds classy, but eggnog. Hey, let's go have some eggnog.
That's egg. That's right.
Hey, let's get some eggnog.
Eggnog.
You know, no. You know what I'm saying? Like mojitos.
I think you're just hating on the word nog.
Yeah, nog.
Yeah.
Like, aside from MMA fighters, you shouldn't use the word nog.
It sounds like the name of a cave troll.
Yeah, it does.
Nog.
And like add egg in front of it. Like on their own, those two words are really like, they don't have positive connotations with them. But then you put them together, it's even worse.
It's a holiday drink.
And then almond milk, eggnog. Good gosh.
I don't get almond milk. Oh.
Next week on almond milk talk.
All right. I think it's time to start the podcast like we do every podcast. Levengood, I think you have listener questions for us today.
I do. Our first question comes from, as he wanted to be quoted, Dirtbag D from Melbourne, Australia.
What up, Double
Listeners
D?
all the way from Australia.
Yeah. Dirtbag
D.
Dirtbag D.
Now, and I'm reading the question exactly as he had it. He basically wrote me a paragraph. He wanted to make sure that his thoughts were well qualified before he went and asked some random questions. So
Dirtbag knows his stuff.
Dirtbag D, you wouldn't think he'd be like, so inflexive with his listener question, but here it is. I've just seen It Follows and quite enjoyed it, to be honest. In that vein, we know that there is vampirism and zombification, as well as lycanthropy, as well as other communicable diseases in the horror pantheon. It Follows, much like The Ring before it, has its own strain of this particular thematic contagion at the heart of its narrative. My question is this. What horror disease, plague, or virus would the movies, films, and flicks crew create and or succumb to in their own ideal film?
Okay, I got to answer this because at first I was just going to say alcoholism, but my answer is Yeti-itis, and that's when the temperature drops below freezing, you turn into a deadly, deadly, deadly Yeti.
And then you throw Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
In the Returns.
Yeah, and if you scratch somebody, if you bite somebody, they get the same thing. So
you're a were-Yeti.
Yeah, no, I'm a Yeti. Because no full moon. It's just when it gets cold, I turn into a Yeti.
It's
right.
Yetanthropy.
There we go. Yetanthropy.
Yeti and anthropy. Yetanthropy.
Right. Yetanthropy. So I would, whenever it drops below freezing, I turn into a bloodthirsty, untrainable. Like I'm not gonna look like John. You're not gonna be like Mark. You know me, Mark. I'm just gonna go. Poof, your head's gonna go flying.
Fight it. You can overpower.
And then I just go. Whoop. You know what I'm saying? Like some guy tries to do good. Like we can save him. Stop. I'm gonna gut him. I'm.
Yeah.
If you make a speech in front of me, you won't finish that speech. You'll be dead.
You'll be the first guy you gut.
Yeah, exactly. Just out of principle. So Yeti-anthropy is what I have.
Yetanthropy.
Yetanthropy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, I want to be a daywalker, a la Blade. I think how did that happen in the movie where his pregnant when his mom was pregnant with him, she got bit by a vampire, so he wasn't fully vampiric. He ended up getting he ended up getting the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
Like he was vampire, had all the vampire abilities, but he could still walk in daylight. So
Now hold on. Now, if all you need to do is bite a pregnant woman and not kill her, why didn't they bite a whole bunch of pregnant women and then just create an army of daywalkers to fight Blade?
I don't know. Maybe it was like a. Maybe it was like an outlier.
I've never thought of this before, but
it was probably like an outlier, like maybe like all the other people that they bit died, you know.
But you just intentionally don't kill them. You just bite them a tiny bit, and in fact,
here's what I'm thinking: in the first Blade, there were a bunch of yuppie vampires, right? They were just a bunch of yuppies, so they were just too like he was gonna kill the woman, but he had to go to a blood rave. And the second one, the guy was just mad because he was a mixed breed and he wanted to kill people. And the third one, they were just a bunch of other yuppies, so they could have cared less about that. So like, I don't think any of the vampires in these movies. I think they're also selfish. They never really thought about it.
Yeah.
Like time investment too. They didn't want to wait. They're like, no, we're doing this now.
Yeah, the vampires, the yuppie vampires, they're not in for the long game.
So I now have a non-listener question for Lazabath. Lazabath, you basically turned that question that was aimed at the Movies, Films, and Flicks crew and answered it like, what would be cool for me? Does that mean that Mark and I are like your victims that are the regular vampires or something in this mix?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really.
Are we just lackeys or something? Like, am I your Whistler?
Honestly, I didn't factor you two in at all. I was just thinking about me. I mean, if you want to put yourself somewhere in there, that's fine. But
I'm too busy running around like a Yeti.
Daywalker, then.
Listen,
I'm too busy being a Yeti.
Blade, like he kind of, I think Whistler was kind of like his sidekick, but not really. So Blade's kind of a loner, man.
I want to be half Daywalker, half Yetanthrope, stronger than both.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's like Underworld 5.
We're officially out of ideas.
Remember they said that in the first Underworld, though? It was like, half Lycan, half vampire, stronger than both. Why is he stronger than both just because he's half of each?
Yeah, how would you know that? Like, you wouldn't be a full-size werewolf, and you wouldn't have all the vampire powers. You would be like a blend. Like, you wouldn't have 100%.
Like, I don't know why you just know for a fact it's better.
All right.
Because there's never been one, right? So the guy automatically assumed it.
This is going to be awesome.
Okay. So this drink is half vodka, half tomato juice. Stronger than both?
Better than both. and then like that, we had the Bloody Mary.
I bet that's how rum and coke happened too. It's just
stronger than both.
Well, it's stronger than one of them.
Listen, I am tired, but I want to keep drinking.
All right, so I took a more I guess like a practical approach, and I compared us to movies, and I realized like if we, the podcaster movie fanatics, were the subject of a horror movie, where like most horror movies, you think of your antagonist, you think of your bad guy, and then you build the movie around it. Whereas in this case, we would create or succumb to it, so we're kind of the victims. We're the protagonist survivors. So I thought, what bad guy would be built around us? And I thought of movies like The Apparition and Pulse, where it used like electronic waves and the internet for this apparition to travel and get to you. Because anyone who's listened knows that sometimes we have some technical difficulties with the internet. So I figure it's that. I mean, we're podcasting from 3 different states simultaneously. If something was getting to you from the internet, we are not safe.
And you know what else I was thinking? Like, let's say like Florida State's playing a national championship and I only have my phone to check the scores. But I know if I turn my phone on, like an apparition's going to attack me. So I'm sitting there like looking at it like, is it worth it?
You know,
is it worth it?
Any other hour of any other day, you're like, I need to know where my wife and my mother are to know that they're safe. But I can't turn this phone on because if I die, what good am I to them? But then when Florida State, or in my case, if Florida was in the national championship, likewise, right? It's like, and I'm like, this ghost could get me. Screw it. I need to know what the score is. We're quarter in. It's like
flip. I gotta send like really fast text messages before it real. Like, you know, in Tremors, where like they threw rocks to like distract the tremors and they ran the other way, like I would have to like distract the ghost and then check like my text real quick and then like trick it.
You know what you do? You get someone near you to like play a YouTube video so they're producing more bandwidth near you.
Yeah, that's it.
Be drawn to the greater bandwidth and get them instead. But you see, this is what I'm saying. This is why we're screwed. We have 3 people doing video Skype recording right this second. We are high priority targets for this ghost.
Yeah.
I need someone downloading pirated movies near me.
Just run it like you need like bots going 24/7 on a computer to like keep it away. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Dirtbag D. You sound like the bad guy in the movie that's going to get us.
Oh yeah.
Is he related to late great Dimebag Daryl?
Did he play for the Grateful Dead? Is that what you said?
No, is he related to the late great Dimebag Daryl?
Oh, Dimebag Daryl. Yeah.
Dirtbag D. Dirtbag D and Dimebag Daryl.
What? Pantera.
Yeah.
Respect, walk. Are you talking to me?
Yeah. I think we answered that question.
You know, me and Dirtbag D were actually in the same room as one of the members of Pantera once.
Really?
Yeah. Vinny Neil.
Well, that worked out well.
We were in a concert in Las Vegas with him in 2012.
Did you respect walk?
No, I stood by him and just kind of gazed. And then when Dylan, or Dirtbag D, that is, got close to him and asked me to take a picture, I'm like, oh, shit, cool. And later I'm thinking, like, man, he was really cool about that. I should have gotten a picture with him. Instead, I was being, like, respectful, and Dirtbag's just like, yo, John, get a picture of me with him. Like, all right. All right, so next question comes from David from Tallahassee, Florida. So we are spanning the globe here. And it's another, by coincidence, long-winded question. David says, my son heard Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle this morning and declared it the perfect song for an action movie. And he wanted to see that hypothetical perfect action movie that this would play in. So what are the most popular songs used in movies by genre, and have any movies been inspired by a song to begin with?
Well, like Yellow Submarine and The Wall.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I put together a bunch of songs, but I have a couple for you guys. You know, Stuck in the Middle with You from Reservoir Dogs. I mean, that's like a action genre, genre by genre. What is that? That's like a thriller, crime?
Yeah, it's like crime, suspense.
Thriller thing.
I hear that in a grocery store, and I'm like, Reservoir Dogs. And then In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel. I just want to pick up whatever's next to me and put it up over my head. And maybe Tequila from good old Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee's Big Adventure, when he dances on the bar to Tequila. So those are like the 3 that like I really, or Unchained Melody from Ghost. I just want to start making clay.
So actually, the first thing I thought of, this is like half of my answer, and then I'm going to go to Lazva. But half of my answer, I was thinking specifically about Welcome to the Jungle. So Jean-Claude Van Damme was in a 2013 movie called Welcome to the Jungle that featured the song Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, did they really?
And by the way, the movie The Rundown, which I don't think featured Welcome to the Jungle, was originally going to be titled Welcome to the Jungle.
Ooh. You went deep on this.
Oh, that's the first half of my answer. I'm categorizing. Lazavath, what would you have?
This one's tough because music's not really my forte. But like, the first thing I thought of when I read this question, it was just like any AC/DC song, right?
Yeah.
You know, Shoot the Thrill. Shit, it's all just I'm just drawing a blank right here. There's also, let's see, Iron Man with Ozzy Osbourne in Iron Man, and yeah, I don't know. That's it.
They've been in so many movies, like Back in Black, School of Rock.
Oh yeah,
like, and then like Hell's Bells. I'm sure that's Shoot the Thrill.
That was an Iron Man
Shook
2.
Me All Night Long was kind of like the closing scene in Private Parts, where AC/DC did a concert performance in honor of Howard Stern.
Yeah, I mean,
You know the reason
Yeah.
why? All their songs are super catchy, so you could just like insert them in a movie, and it would just work.
Yeah, shoot the thrill. Oh my
about-
gosh, I
what
want to listen to
about,
some AC/DC right now.
What about Black
So-
Betty? That's
Which
a
one?
song, Black Betty. For some
Oh.
reason, I feel like that's a song I've seen in the movie. Or
Dukes
heard
of
it.
Hazzard.
Was there a
Yeah,
movie
Black
with?
Betty.
Do you guys see that movie Basic with John Travolta? And
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson.
Unfortunately.
I think
Yeah.
I think that song was playing in the credits. So
And Without a Paddle, it's in. Let's see what else. I actually have answers to this. Can I read it, guys?
yeah.
Yeah, Gone in 60 Seconds, Super Troopers, Kung Pao, Basic, Arthur and the Invisibles, TMNT, The Brave One, The Condemned, Cop Out, The Losers, and Death Race 2.
Nice.
So I found a different list to complement a part of his question where he said, have any movies been inspired by a song? And I'm not entirely sure for all these movies if they were inspired by the song or if they just happened to include the song and then they thought, we'll name the movie that. But tell me what you guys think. Ready? I'm just going to go through the list. Take Me Home Tonight.
Oh, it had to be because they're both
Right.
there in the 80s.
American Pie.
Ooh.
I don't know. That's kind of a reach.
I mean, wasn't that about the death of a bunch of singers on that, Buddy Holly and
Probably not. Probably not. I'm going to say again for Bad Boys.
yeah, they sing
I
it.
can see that.
Yeah,
And what you going to do when they come for you, man? The
Yeah.
bad guys are like
they're gonna
So-
get some Skittles.
Lean on Me. The Morgan Freeman song.
Wait, Morgan Freeman song.
I mean, the Morgan Freeman movie. The Morgan Freeman movie.
He's a talented guy.
Lean on Me, where
Yeah.
he's taking over the high school, and then the choir eventually plays Lean on Me, like to support each other.
And then there's Stand By Me.
By the way, and that's on the list. But wait, Lean on Me, the movie, by the way, features the song Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh,
No joke. It came out a year after that song. My Girl,
yeah.
clearly. Sweet Home Alabama, maybe not.
I mean, that's more of like a dig at, like, I guess. I mean, where did that term "Sweet Home Alabama" come
the concept
from?
of Sweet Home Alabama was Reese Witherspoon's character comes back home to Alabama, even though begrudgingly, right?
Yeah,
So I
Right.
guess that's kind of that ties into the song.
You can't take the country out of the girl.
that's right.
I got two more ready. Pretty Woman. Walking down the street.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Can't Buy Me Love, Patrick Dempsey's movie,
Oh, yeah.
where he pays a girl to pose as his girlfriend. Like that, sir. I don't know how inspired these movies were, or if they started writing the movie and then figured this would be a good song, and then they're like, let's make that the title. But like, there's a lot out there.
Yeah, see, I started thinking about, give me, Yellow Submarine in the Wall and everything like that.
Well,
But
those
yeah,
are
no, I
like-
like it. I didn't
yeah.
even think about that.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to like reach really hard, say Thriller. That was kind of a movie. That was
The music video / movie.
yeah. I mean, how long was that video? Like, it was like 15 minutes or something like that. It was something insane.
and Landis,
Oh yeah, at least.
Landis directed it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Thriller. Sure.
Yep, put it right on the list, throw it on the floor.
There we go.
File it.
File it.
All right. Thank you once again to our listeners for those fabulous questions. And yeah, hopefully you walk away enlightened with our answers. Probably not. You're probably even more confused than you were before.
Good.
Yeah. All right, Mark, I think you have the topic for us today, right?
Yeah, and this comes from Socrates, all the famous
Film
philosophers
critics
and
history.
Shakespeare,
Plato.
Umberto Eco,
Yeah.
David Foster Wallace. They're all very interested in one thing, and that's what we're talking tonight, and that is trading one character in one movie for another character in another movie. So basically, what would happen if you took the main character or side character from one movie and you traded them for another character in another movie? So the movies stay the same, but it's just a different character. So same plot, but then you got to deal with a different actor or a different.
So like Socrates was like, could Perseus take on the Hydra, and could Hercules take on Medusa?
Exactly. It's like, yeah, Clash of the Titans meets the Odyssey, and then you switch. You know what I mean? Boom. Boom. Done. Throw in some Sean Bean.
Is Sean Bean getting swapped today?
No, but he was in Troy, right?
Yeah, it's Odysseus.
Yeah, Odysseus.
I wouldn't mind seeing Sean Bean get a swap where he gets a shot at being James Bond.
Oh yeah.
Well, he came close. So
Yeah, switch him for Pierce Brosnan in the same movie.
He was 006, man. You just got to carry the one. And
All right, so I'm going to kick us off here. All right, and you got to carry the one. Oh gosh.
yeah, 006.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so for me, this is going to sound weird, but this is something I've been thinking about for a while. And John Cusack in Grosse Pointe Blank gets traded for Michael Keaton's Batman. So Batman has to attend a high school reunion, and Cusack has to battle the Joker. Now, I watched these movies again recently, and there's actually a lot of similarities between the two characters. They both have, they both can't tell people what they do. He jokes about it. Cusack's like, I'm a hitman. No one believes him, right? Batman has his secret. They both have parent issues because, his Batman's parents were killed. And John Cusack, when he goes home to Detroit, Michigan, he goes home and he pours the booze on the grave. So he's obviously mad at his dad. So they both have unresolved parent issues. They both go after bad guys because, Batman attacks, criminals. And John Cusack in the movie is like, listen, if you end up on my desk, you've done something bad. It's a way to justify it. They both have women that they kind of stand up, like Kim Basinger in Batman. He has to lie to her. And then Minnie Driver in Grosse Pointe Blank, he stands her up for 10 years. So, their characters are you could kind of swap them out. So here's what I'm thinking. John Cusack is a hitman in Gotham, which I think would be a lot of work. And he gets a dossier for the Joker. Because Joker's he's being a real pain in the butt. And, I just love the fact that, you have this really neurotic hitman with a lot of issues. He has some counselor there that he harasses, he's always calling up Alan Arkin and harassing him. But I just like the fact, I just want to, I don't know, I think John Cusack, he's a black belt in karate. I would just love to see him battle Jack Nicholson. I just think it would be a great brawl. I would love to see a hitman attempting to kill the Joker. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a big John Cusack fan. But also, on the flip side, I'd like to see the neurotic Michael Keaton Batman go to his 10-year reunion and get attacked by a bunch of hitmen, but he can't be Batman. So he actually has to win fights on his own, not Batman.
So he's got to it's almost like when you're taking him down, you just pretend that you stepped out of the way and they tripped, kind of thing.
Wait, what?
So in the fight, for Bruce Wayne at this high school reunion where people are trying to kill him, and he has to defend himself from these hitmen without being realized as being a great fighter because he's a billionaire. Yeah. It's like when they're coming at him, he does that thing where you just casually step to the side and trip them or something. They fall on their face or get knocked out or something or fall into the punch bowl. And he's like, oh, gosh, you okay? Like it was a total accident. And it's almost like in Nick Cage in Next, how he's ducking all the punches. He acts like he's bending over to pick something up so they miss him or something.
Yeah, I love it. And then also, Batman and Grosse Pointe Blank are heavily focused on music, because Joker's always playing Prince, and Grosse Pointe Blank has a killer soundtrack. And then I just want to see Michael Keaton in the car with Jeremy Piven smoking weed, and Jeremy Piven just freaks out. He's like, 10 years, man! You've been gone for 10 years! What have you been doing? What, you're a billionaire? What? I just want to see a neurotic him. And then, I don't know, I just think he and Cusack kind of had the same kind of neurotic type. If you, I don't know, you kind of think about them, they're both kind of wiry. I think Cusack probably could have done Multiplicity or Birdman. I know that's crazy. But, I don't know, I feel like these two, you could have swapped roles and they would have worked. I don't know. I just want to see John Cusack as a hitman battling Joker's henchman. I don't know. I just like that idea. I don't know. For some reason, I always thought that was cool. And then there are, there's some similarities, so it could work. But basically, I just want to see Michael Keaton driving around with Jeremy Piven in a car and Jeremy Piven yelling at him. So I picked it.
Nice.
Well, Elizabeth, what are your feelings here?
I think I would love to see that movie.
Which
not
movie?
only John Cusack. Now, you were talking about You're referring to Tim Burton's, like
Yeah, Tim
Batman.
Burton's Batman.
I want to
the
see
first
John
one.
Cusack battle Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh my gosh,
That would just be hilarious. That would be hilariously awkward.
Yeah,
Like John Cusack
'cause
wouldn't
he's a
know what to
hitman,
do.
right?
Yeah, John Cusack wouldn't know what to do. Like, oh man, how do I kill this guy?
And he's always like 20 steps ahead of the Joker. So
Yeah.
he's always like, and he fails sometimes too in Grosse Pointe Blank. Like he gets things wrong. Like the reason they're hunting him in Grosse Pointe Blank is because he blew up a dog. That one guy wants to kill him in the high school because he blew up like some drug cartel guy's dog. So like, I just want to see the Joker. He keeps messing up trying to blow up the Joker, and he keeps screwing up, and he makes more enemies.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see that movie.
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah.
So I feel like Michael Keaton is Bruce Wayne, right? In general, when people are kind of onto him, sometimes people get a little onto him that something's a little off, but he's really charismatic and smooth about it, and he plays it off well. So I think that he'd handle keeping his cover verbally, not in the fighting, that is, verbally really well in the Grosse Pointe Blank scenario. Now, John Cusack, however, he has a tendency when he's in conversation he's trying to hide his identity, but he reveals little bits a little too much, and especially with his ex. So it's like, it gets him in trouble a lot. So I can't help but to wonder, in the Batman world where he's being realized, this could get him into a lot of trouble. So he could have a lot more unplanned, disadvantaged action scenes than you would normally have in a Batman movie. Now, that said, that sounds like that means that he's got a death sentence because Joker's got a lot of criminals. But at the same time, John Cusack is like 6'4".
Yep.
He is physically gigantic compared to the Michael Keaton compared to any Batman we've ever had. He's physically gigantic. Yep. So even if he's getting outnumbered, Joker's people have a tendency to come at you hand to hand. So
they're done.
So the thing is that he's going to take a lot more hits than he should before he ultimately wins in his movie. But it's okay because he's a big meat sack compared to the other Batmans, and he can handle himself.
And he killed the guy with a pen in Grosse Pointe Blank, and then the final gunfight, when they all come to the house, he wipes out a union of hitmen like nothing. Like it's easy for him. Like he's just kind of wiping out the best trained hitmen in the world, and then he kills Dan Aykroyd with a TV. So he's pretty good with props.
Well, Dan Aykroyd isn't too nimble anymore.
Yeah, I just love Dan. Dan Aykroyd wants a union in that movie. I love it. But I don't know. Yeah, you're right. There could be a lot of unexplained things. A big 6'4" John Cusack high kicking. I want to see Jack Nicholson's Joker get high kicked in the face by John Cusack. that visual just makes me very happy. Like, imagine the Joker just jawing off and he gets high kicked in the face.
By John Cusack.
Yeah, it's by John Cusack.
A kick from John Cusack
in the face. And like, I don't think he would let Joker monologue. I just think he would go for him.
The devil dance in the my face.
Dude, that's like in our early podcasts, in 2 different podcasts, way in the beginning we were talking about Snowpiercer and the dude who dips his axe in a fish, and how like I would just tackle him, and if you do that in front of Chris Evans is just going to tackle him. That's what should happen. Like that's what he starts monologuing. Cusack is just going to bum rush him.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have a pen in your neck. So the two movies, they have like kind of similarities. They have to keep their identity secret. They both have kind of nefarious lifestyles. They both have parent issues. They have to lie to, their significant others. So the movie could work. Boom. And they're both rich because you see the bonus he left his sister, Joan Cusack, at the end of Grosse Pointe Blank.
Different levels of rich, but definitely both rich.
I mean, they got money. And they like music. So I'm digging it. I think that would be good. So, Levingood, what do you got?
All right, so my first pick is Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire, with Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
So explain this.
So the thing is that Robin Williams, that is his character, Mrs. Doubtfire, is replacing Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. So the Mrs. Doubtfire character is the one doing the kidnapping and is the one being stalked by Agent Sterling. Whereas Buffalo Bill is the very disturbed ex-husband of Sally Field and disguises himself in cross-dress, which he is wont to do in the Silence of the Lambs movie.
Is he wearing actual skin?
That, Mark, that's what we're here to discuss. But he does actually try to cross-dress a little bit. He has long hair. He puts on makeup. He does the famous tuck scene. Yeah. So he wants to make himself more womanly. So he will disguise himself as a woman so he can be near his kids, who hopefully aren't psychotic as well.
Yeah, like it would add tension because you're like, I don't want this guy anywhere near children. You know?
I mean, even though they're kids, I still don't want them near them.
Yeah, and so like it would be like a really creepy vibe. Like it would be like Mrs. Doubtfire would not be funny anymore. Like when he hits Pierce Brosnan in the back of the head with a lemon, like you're worried. Like you think it'd be a knife instead.
Or a rock.
Yeah. It was run by rock. So wait, so
it was at a bar, right? What if he just grabbed an empty pint glass or like a pitcher of pina colada and just threw that at his head?
Oh my gosh. I was reading some background about Buffalo Bill and like how he came to be. And I guess he went to an orphanage and then he killed his grandparents. And then he wanted gender reassignment, but he was too insane to have it. So he still gets married somehow. So he has to find a pretty crazy spouse.
Don't forget, though, so Mrs. Doubtfire, that's like 1991, 93-ish.
Right?
But so it's back when it was easier to hide your identity. Oh. It's easier to start with a clean slate. So I think he could pull it off. Maybe he got some meds and some good therapy. I don't know.
He finally got...
Raised some kids that hopefully took after Sally Field instead of him.
So, and are you saying that Mrs. Doubtfire dresses up as a woman to kidnap victims?
Well, Mrs. Doubtfire already dresses like a woman.
So that man dresses as a woman to kidnap his victims.
I'm letting you take it where you want to, Mark.
That's what you said. Oh, so let's hear yours. I want to hear yours.
So my idea is, if Mrs. Doubtfire slash I can't remember his name, Peter.
Hey, Slash, welcome to the jungle.
That's right. Welcome to the jungle. Bringing it back. But so if the Robin Williams Mrs. Doubtfire character was the one doing the kidnapping, I can't help but to think that when the lotion is being lowered, for example, like I think it's more loving. Like, oh dear, it's so dry down there. Like you don't want your skin to crack. And with the seamstress stuff, I remember Mrs. Doubtfire. Remember at the end when she got her show, or when he got the Mrs. Doubtfire show? You wicked puppet. What if Mrs. Doubtfire actually had an aversion to puppets, and he was kidnapping people who owned puppets to ransom them for their puppets? And he is actually making a suit out of puppets like Cruella de Vil would out of puppies.
So he's kidnapping humans and then goes, listen, you got to bring me the puppet by 12 p.m. sharp or you'll never see your husband again.
I'm telling you, something like that. And when Mrs. Doubtfire does her tuck scene, well, she's got her bodysuit and she's doing it to Tom Jones music because she's older.
Yeah. Interesting. Barry Manilow.
Serve some Barry, get some Barry, but I think it's a more loving. I think it gets backed up to a PG-13.
This villain sounds worse than Buffalo Bill.
No, how is it worse than Buffalo Bill?
Because it's like all nice, and but she's straight up murdering people.
But they're still kidnapping.
Yeah, but she's like this guy's murdering people, but giving them happy lotion, but then murdering them. That seems like even crazier to me.
It's a delicious, nutritious stew for some children that she nannies.
At least Buffalo Bill was just yelling at his victims. You know what I mean? Like, just put on the lotion.
So I want to make an interesting point here, and this is something that I realized after I picked these two very random transvestite-driven characters. When Robin Williams' character, the husband character, is doing the fake phone calls for the job interview to Sally Field, at one point he says, Layla, get back in your cage. Don't make me get the hose. Now, I looked that up, and the only connection I can possibly find for what that's from is Buffalo Bill saying it rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't help but to wonder if Robin Williams' character was actually referencing Silence of the Lambs, even though he referenced a cage.
Oh, my goodness.
I tried looking this up online. I can't
Oh, okay. I was quoting it.
I can't find it. I even looked up to see what the name of the victim was of Buffalo Bill in the movie to see if it was Layla, because that's the name. He says, "Layla, get back in your cage." But I couldn't find that. It's not, when you do the full IMDb credits, you can't find the name of that victim. They refer to the last names of the character in quotes, but I can't find the first name. I'm wondering if the victim's first name is Layla, then I can't help but to think that there was a direct link between those movies that I didn't even realize when I picked these two movies.
Oh, you want to hear something random? And movie mistakes on Red Dragon, there's a copy of Mrs. Doubtfire in their home. So Red Dragon is a prequel to Silence of the Lambs. Will is opening the drawer of films from the lead's home. There's a copy of Mrs. Doubtfire.
And do you know why that makes it an accident? It's not because of the release date of Mrs. Doubtfire. It's because
it's beforehand. So
it's because she referenced Buffalo Bill.
So there's like a parallel here.
Nice.
Wow.
It
So
all
Red
comes-
Dragon had a copy of it.
It all comes full circle, basically.
Wow.
I mean, Lazarus, don't you think that Mrs. Doubtfire would make an interesting captor if you were trapped in her basement in a pit?
No.
It kind of reminds me of Kathy Bates in Misery, I guess, but even more deranged. It would
Because like Kathy Bates was a jerk, though. You know what I mean? Like this, you have some nice lady.
I think that's even more terrifying.
Yeah.
You know, at least Kathy Bates is like, well, she's a jerk, but so I can understand why she's acting like this. But Mrs. Doubtfire, when she's all nice, it's just like, why are you acting this way? This is weird.
Is terrible.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates wasn't insane in that movie, but if you followed her rules, she was actually quite sweet and accommodating.
What were her rules? Like, it was,
Well, basically, you stay.
No
you
food after midnight.
yeah.
But she'd take care of you. She'd make you nice meals. She'd want to make pleasant conversation. Like, she'd want to talk to you about what you do, your book. Like, she was, I mean, don't get me wrong, you're trapped in her house. Her rules are not rules anyone wants to live by. But like, I wonder how she'd do in a Mrs. Doubtfire swap.
This is terrifying, John.
Yeah.
Hopefully no Sledgehammer and 2x4 would come into play with those kids.
So we got a nice little thing there. He references Silence of the Lambs, and then Red Dragon references Mrs. Doubtfire.
It's full circle. The universe is telling us something.
That's right. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so Lesbeth, what do you got?
All right. For my first swap, I decided to go with duos. So I swapped two different pairs here. The first pair is the great Jules and Vincent from Pulp Fiction, played by John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. And I swapped them with another great cinematic criminal duo. And that's Marv and Harry from Home Alone.
Oh my God.
Right? So, all right. Just imagine Marv and Harry as the henchmen of Marcellus Wallace. They're just like bumbling henchmen. They're just like,
Marcellus Wallace would have shot them so quickly.
I think that would have been hilarious. Like, for some reason, Marcellus Wallace keeps them employed, but they just keep bumbling and fucking up excuse my language. They just keep messing up even worse. And like Marcellus Wallace is just like getting more and more pissed.
I love in this movie too how there's so much profanity in Tarantino films, but in Home Alone, the two Jules in them are just going razza frazza fricka fracka
Yeah.
fricka frazza.
Dude, the most harsh line of dialogue in Home Alone was from the movie that was playing in the movie.
Yeah.
And that was what was it with the filthy animals?
Yeah, smile, you smile, you son of a bitch.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if Marcellus Wallace Marvin Harry's influence rubbed off on him? Like he starts cursing just like them.
Razza frazza fricka fracka. I'm gonna get medieval on these razza frazza fricka frackers.
And then you look at the other side. Imagine Jules and Vincent trying to break into Kevin McAllister's house in Home Alone, right? To try to I don't know, retrieve the briefcase from
Well,
inside
I
the
see
house.
this right now. So Samuel L. Jackson is just knocking in the middle of the night, waking up. All the lights are coming on because he's knocking like, "Hey, open the damn door!" Meanwhile, like John Travolta is thinking like he's looking around the house confused, like he's looking under for like a fake rock that has a key in it.
Yeah.
Like just like those memes that are going around Facebook now, by the way, folks. Yeah. Like John Travolta just looking around kind of confused back and forth. He's just looking around and open the damn door.
And then a paint can lands on his head. He falls on his butt and he goes, "You mother!"
Yeah,
like,
there would be so much mother effer going on with the damage that they would incur from that kid.
I want to see John Travolta.
You not again, motherfucker!
I want to see John Travolta grab an electrified doorknob. You see you just see a skeleton.
So,
and then they stick together on the doorway, and that big thing knocks him out like this ladder.
Oh, then
so
like
Jules and Verne,
at the end,
dumb, right?
Well, Jules and Verne? No, they're
I'm sorry, not Jules. I mean, Marvin Harry.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, but you know what though? In the first one, they're very accomplished criminals, and then the second one, they actually escape from prison.
Yeah.
And they have a plan that would work.
They're
actually really good criminals.
Yeah, they got street smarts, not so much book smarts.
But their kryptonite is the little fella, Macaulay Culkin. Like, they're very good at what they do if you think about it. They would have gotten away with everything.
He doesn't behave in that predictable manner, I guess.
Yeah. They would have gotten away with everything had it not been for that pesky kid.
Yeah. I could just imagine in our Home Alone scenario where, like, Jules and Verne finally catch Kevin McAllister and Samuel L. Jackson's monologuing. He's eating a burger. And I was like, Kevin, like,
Kahuna burger?
This burger tastes good. But then, like, the burger is, like, booby trapped. Just like
a mouse trap in the Kahuna burger.
Like, ugh.
I got some Kahuna burgers for you upstairs. John Travolta's like, oh, that's nice. Then snap.
Okay, so hold on. When we move Mrs. Doubtfire into Silence of the Lambs, we assume that there's like a filter of added malevolence, right? When we move Buffalo Bill into Mrs. Doubtfire, we assume it's not quite as twisted evil. He's still bad, but not quite. So what happens when you switch these two if you take a different movie concept to transfer? Like, so Marv and Harry, they would not die. A lot of things happen to them that would straight up kill you. Yeah. So what would happen if you took the regular pain and damage thresholds of Home Alone and then of Pulp Fiction and applied them to the swap? Before you know it, these two guys come to Macaulay Culkin's door, get straight up murdered by this kid.
Like the initial brick throw. Remember in Home Alone 2, he got hit in the face with a brick 3 times?
Yeah. That could be that. He's just unconscious. He's got a bleed in his head or something. And then you switch our Home Alone criminals to Pulp Fiction, and they're screwing up left and right because they're dealing with smart people, and they're getting shot and they're not dying. Like they're basically walking healthy zombies.
When Travolta gets killed in Pulp Fiction, I think he would miss Marv, but Marv would knock himself out, or Harry would knock himself out and like live. Oh my gosh! And then wait, guys, you're gonna love this. You know when he takes out his wallet and it saes "bad mother effort"?
Yeah.
In Pulp Fiction, Marv would take it out and it would go "razza frazza fricka fracka." That's what his wallet would say.
No, it would say "filthy animal."
Oh yeah, filthy animal. Take up the wallet that says "filthy animal" and open it up.
So wipe yourselves off, you filthy animals. That's what we shot him.
So you know what would happen? John Travolta would die in Home Alone. He would die by a brick, then electrocution. And then Samuel L. Jackson would catch like staples and step on ornaments and all that and get beat up. And then he would just quit and walk the earth and reevaluate his life.
And then he'd go to Black Snake Moan.
He would become the guy from Black Snake Moan. So Travolta would be dead from bricks. And then so you kind of have the same ending. The only person that dies is Travolta.
Yeah.
I love that visual.
Yeah.
Poor Travolta. So and you mean the only one who still dies?
Yeah.
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 Open up the wallet that says "filthy animal."
All right, guys.
Razza, you filthy animal.
Time to take a break. So we'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
We got to edit out all the fricka-frackas.
It's coming soon.
Shark Dropper Studios presents to you
force is strong in my family. My father had it. I have it. My sister has it. And you have that power too.
There he is, back to work.
I had to protect my investment.
Investment?
Julianne Good, the whore with the dead fiancé.
I just hope I can help.
Your reputation precedes you.
If you don't open this fucking door right now, I'm gonna break it down. Go, go, go! Hurry up! Go, go!
Mr. K!
It's Jimmy John. He's missing.
Go find him, Tubby.
Polly, we're home.
Doppel Avenue Hurt, Season 2, brought to you by Shark Dropper Studios.
Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. Yeah.
Movies, films, and fricka-fracka.
Fricka. You think that was in the script? Or did Joe Pesci kind of improv that? Like
In brackets, it probably just said mumbling, incomprehensible obscenity.
Yeah, exactly. Movies, films, and fricka-fracka.
I'm kind of curious, like how it looks like in the closed caption, like what it actually says. Does it actually spell out
The guy spelled every word out of it. Joe, you missed the R there.
Oh, really?
I want to see his characters from Goodfellas and Home Alone switch dialogue.
I feel bad for him because like he would be struggling during those scenes, right?
Reza Freza, you missed a Fraza.
Oh, Freza.
Then he stabs the director in the throat with a pen 19 times.
That's right. Well, you do it now.
Sorry, man. I'm just a huge fan of your work at Home Alone. No wonder Pesci's retired these days.
That's right. Him and Moranis are just chilling.
Lemongood, I think you have one more listener question for us today.
All right, well, we're spanning the globe still. We went from Australia to Florida, and now we're going to Camden County, New Jersey, where Jesse asks, what is the most racist part ever played?
Well, a quick Google search. The first result that pops up is Uncle Remus from Song of the South, the old Disney movie. He basically plays like kind of an Uncle Tom character, and it's like you watch like YouTube clips, and it's like really awkward. Like it's just like really racist, pretty much.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry to jump in, but for me, you think about like Birth of a Nation, but that movie was like just outright racist made it. So it's like straight up racist made that movie. But then you have Short Circuit 2 with Fisher Stevens, a white guy playing an Indian. But Aziz Ansari's just had a good talk with him, and he tried to make it the best character he could. And then for me, it's Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's, because like nobody Fred Astaire did blackface in a movie, but he did it to honor another dancer, even though it was very insensitive. Like there was a reason behind it. But in Breakfast at Tiffany's, it's just a white dude playing a buck-tooth Asian. For there's no excuse. Like they just did it as a gag. It's the most culturally insensitive. Like they thought it was funny, and I don't think anybody thought it was racist when they were doing it. Like it's not. There's racists who make a movie, but then there's people who do something that they just think is funny, but it's absolutely racist. So for me, it's Mickey Rooney's character from Breakfast at Tiffany's, because it's just like. There's no need. Like it's terrible.
It's awkward, right?
Yeah. Like people love that movie, but you're like, I remember I got to that movie fairly late in life, and I remember watching it, going, "What? What? Like, it wasn't like Birth of a Nation. It was just made by straight up racists. And it was just like an affront, and they meant to do it. But this one was like just a bunch of white people thinking it was funny. So that's like worse. For me, almost. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Because they just thought it was funny.
Well, look, I mean, this question is vague. You could arguably say Edward Norton from American History X, but that's not how I chose to interpret it.
I started doing that too, and I'm like, man, there's just too many. But for me, it's Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
So I also did some searches, and I there's some answers, like those two robots, Skids and Mudflap from Revenge of the Fallen were, oh my God, they were like, I felt offended, and I'm white. And like White Chicks, the Wayans brothers, but that was really just overzealous satire, in my opinion. And
they went past, like how the National Enquirer says like Princess Di had a Bat Boy baby. Like it's like oh, okay, like this is so ridiculous. You don't get mad about it.
Rob Schneider in a lot of Adam Sandler movies, he's like the Asian minister marrying Chuck and Larry, and he's the super weird Hawaiian guy. And here's what I thought of before I looked anything up, though. Before I looked anything up, something came to mind, and it came to mind immediately. No joke. And it's not even a human character. And this character was on one of the several lists that I found, and it's Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks. I mean, it didn't even matter what race you are. I think Jar Jar Binks offended, like, the world.
So
like,
one character offended everybody?
I think so. Like, everything about that character. I mean, he felt like he had the general humility to everyone around him, like he was an owned slave, and they gave him this ridiculous vernacular, and I don't know, everything was just so overdone with that character.
Yeah. I think they were thinking dollar signs in their heads, too. That's like another thing where I just think they were like, yeah, it works.
But, like, I'm just curious, what do you think they were thinking about Jar Jar Binks made the dollar signs? Like, who does that appeal to? It doesn't... I don't see how that appeals to anybody.
Little kids who just want like a Star Wars like action figure.
I guess it's cute to little kids. Do you think that was unintentionally racist then? Like they just thought, let's just make a funny talking character for the kids?
I think so. And I can't get in the mind of Lucas, but I don't think this was an affront to anything or him having fun. Like I just think he did what he wanted. I just think it was a kid. It was for the kids, I think. Like Mudflap and whatever, and Beaver Toe, whatever his name is.
Mudflap and what's his name? And Skids.
Wait, I call him Beaver Toe.
Mudflap and Skids were clearly over the top racial profiling, like bad.
Well, there's Asian samurai in Transformers too, like.
Who didn't offend me at all, though?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't upset me. He was probably very tried and true for his era.
Yeah.
He went to feudal Japan.
Just Mickey Rooney, man. Just some buck teeth and, like, glasses and, like...
You know, one character, I can't remember his name, but he came up on every single list I found online. His name's, like, Long Duck San from one of those cues from 16 Candles.
I'm drinking bourbon.
And I watched a video of this dude.
Long Duck Dong.
And when I saw a video of like 7 minutes of like a supercut of all of his scenes, that was ridiculous. Like he was describing like regular American like dinner table food like he had never seen anything like it. Like if it was a meatball, it's like, oh, it's like a ball that is made out of the parts of animal meat. Like he was just speaking random nonsense like that. It's not a direct quote. He didn't say that, but like it was like that. The ridiculousness that came out of his mouth.
I think the 80s was just so full of cocaine.
You know, in the 80s, though, I got to say, Asians got a bad rap in the 80s. If it was not a martial arts movie, it was an over-the-top Asian with a camera or a super nerd with a violin and you know, into calculus. Like, even in Revenge of the Nerds, they over-racially stereotyped the Asian.
Wait, what about in Better Off Dead? The two guys who learned English by listening to Haruko Cell, so they're always trying to race John Cusack. Right. But was that bad? I just think that's how they learned English. Like, they weren't really... They were just talking like Haruko Cell and trying to race him all the time. I kind of love that.
Yeah, that wasn't like offensive or anything. Yeah. I don't think anyone could be offended. That was kind of That was a kind of cute way to make them socially awkward.
Cusack wins the day again.
That's right. Cusack with the save.
Yeah.
Any other specially racist things that we want? Well, this sounds like funny to say, but it's not. It's obviously meant in the nicest way. But does anyone else have any racist remarks that they would like to contribute to this?
Avatar was pretty racist towards blue skin people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've cringed.
Yeah, I think Mitch Hedberg would have hated that. Actually, no, Mitch Hedberg hates purple people.
Can I ask a generalized question? Does anyone here actually think that Avatar, by its nature, is kind of a racist movie?
It's basically just a Pocahontas,
and like Dancing with Wolves makes Pocahontas.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of racist, like from a native, aspect. I guess. I don't know.
Well, is it racist? They win.
I don't know. I mean, it's the #1 grossing movie of all time, and I've never read anything about it being racist. So, I mean, that much press behind it, somebody would have, made a scene about it. So I guess not many people found that about it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think so, but I feel like it has the elements where it's possible to create an argument if you really, really wanted to. But it's like you would have to try. You'd have to go out of your way to put it together.
If you were bored and you wanted to, get some clickbait.
Get some clickbait, be that dude.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose, but I'm sticking with Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's because it was just soul crushing.
All right, well, thank you, Jesse from New Jersey, for that question.
If John Cusack would have been in Breakfast at Tiffany's, it wouldn't have been like that.
No, he would have neutralized that.
He would have. Cool.
Nice. All right. Thank you once again to Jesse from
Nasty Nate and the boys.
Dirty D, right? From
Dirty D. There was Dirty D from Australia, David from Florida, Jesse from New Jersey. Jesse, by the way, was the person who gave me all my 60-second characters.
Nice. Doing all the work for Levin. Good. Yeah. All right. Thanks again, guys, for his wonderful questions. Mark, I think it's time to finish off our kind of swap meet.
Yeah. Jump into it, Lazarus. What do you got? What's your second one?
The second one, I didn't go over duo this time. Just straight up swap with the same actor in two different movies. The actor in question is Keanu Reeves.
Uh-oh. Did you do a Shane Falco on a Point Break?
Right, so there were a lot of different options to go with. So I did go with Shane Falco from Replacements. Ooh. And I decided to swap him with Neo from The Matrix. Okay, so imagine Neo in The Replacements. I just imagine let's just assume that when Neo is in The Replacements, The Replacements is still in The Matrix, right? Mm-hmm. So he still has all his abilities. He could just bend over backwards, slow down time. I just want to see him do that on the football field.
Yeah, people trying to tackle him and jump it over. John Favreau during practice, he tries to level into him and he does his little flip.
Orlando Jones is looking at him wide-eyed whoa, did you just do that?
Wait, is he the only one with the power?
Yeah.
But you know what? This makes sense, though, from what you're saying, because there's a scene where Gene Hackman literally puts about a gallon of what looks like elephant jizz on Orlando Jones' hands.
Yeah.
For Orlando Jones to catch a ball. He catches the ball, hands it to the ref, and the ref doesn't even notice that there's a gallon of elephant jizz on it. Sticky stuff. So they're really not these cheerleaders are bothering the entire team. So while the cheerleaders are going, while there's sticky stuff flying around, he could be doing all this stuff no one would notice.
Yeah. Orlando Jones' character was a speedster. Maybe that was really just Neo's doing.
Ooh. No one would notice because no one notices any of the infractions. They're puking all over the place and there's I like it.
And then you have Gene Hackman's character who's kind of like a pseudo Morpheus.
And I love that the announcers John Madden just going
oh God,
he's fantastic. Did he just bend in a 90-degree angle and then flip 3 flips over that? Did he just throw a ball 2,000 miles an hour and catch it in the end zone?
And Pat Summerall was like, "Yes, he did, John.
Yes, he did, John."
All right, and then
when I think of Neo in The Replacements, it's total pandemonium in my head. I can't even quite hone in on a single idea. But Shane Falco in The Matrix, I've got two very polar opposite ideas. One, Shane Falco, he was a really practical guy. So, like, when you tell him this stuff, he's like, yeah, well, you guys know more than me. I'm not some computer whiz or anything who thinks he has a grip on life. I'm just trying to get by. So when you tell me things, I'm just going to be like, all right, I now better know how to understand and survive in this world. And when he knows Kung Fu, he's like, I think I got it. Like, I think that's what he'd say. Like all right, I guess we can give this a run. But at the same time, like, I think that when Morpheus holds out the blue pill and the red pill, and he's talking to the mind of Shane Falco, I think Shane Falco, because don't forget, Shane Falco really needed to have his arm twisted hard to come play pro ball by Gene Hackman. It took a lot. Whereas Morpheus, he's not pushing too hard. He's like, look, you take the red pill, I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. You take the blue pill, you wake up tomorrow and think whatever you want. I think Shane Falco's going to take the blue pill and we have no movie.
Yeah, he's going to be like, well, he's going to have him repeat it again. And then Morpheus is going to be like, all right, back to square one.
Like, it might take a few hundred times for Shane Falco to, okay, maybe eventually he'll take the red pill. Maybe that's a notion that we can address in the movie concept, but it's like Shane Falco most of the time, overwhelmingly, I think is going to take the blue pill.
And he quits a lot too.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Like,
he quits after Florida State destroys him, and then he quits when that quarterback comes back, but there's no backup quarterback, and he leaves anyway. Like, he's always going to leave.
Well, he quits up, but when he tries, he really tries. Whereas Neo kept like thinking he was trying, and he was clearly half-assing it. And it wasn't until he was the one that he was always really giving it his all.
So when he is giving it his all, he's giving it his all. But he probably wouldn't do it. He'd be like, give it.
Yeah, I think that Shane Falco would fit better in a way in the Neo role, but he'd be less likely to take the pill to take him to Neo land.
He would need a cheerleader rooting him on and put some yam on him. On his shoulder.
Know what? And maybe Neo and the replacements, it would be like Clark Kent by Tom Welling in Smallville playing high school football, where he's like, he would let his powers do just enough for the win, but he'd never let himself be like all state.
Well, like the Incredibles too, like when he was running too fast and they're like, slow down. Yeah, I like it.
I think he'd have to suppress it, because one game of him going full force, first off, he'd flat out kill people just like by accident. Because in the Matrix, he doesn't have to worry about killing anyone. The people on his side, he doesn't hit. The other ones aren't actually people. So he'd straight up, he wouldn't even know, man. He'd just straight up be cutting people in half.
You just killed somebody. Thanks, Neo.
Yeah, like that jerk quarterback whose role you took, you just picked up your car and threw it at him.
15-yard penalty.
He's not going to catch the quarterback. It's
all right, perfect. Anything else on this Lazarus, or are you good?
No, that's it.
All right, great. So, Lovingood, what you got?
Okay, this is but hands down, like, this was the pick that came to mind like first, and we all know that I love Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, and I think that the whole world should love Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. 1988, the three elder judges from Bloodsport. For the record, they had very few lines, even if you've seen the movie Bloodsport.
They just nod. Or
they
shake
nod.
their heads.
They say a few things, but they don't do a lot. I want them to be swapped with the commentators from Pitch Perfect. So the elder martial arts judges are judging an a cappella competition of 20-somethings, and meanwhile, the commentators from the a cappella competition have been transported into Bloodsport to watch Van Damme do split kicks and punch sumo wrestlers in the balls.
I just want their comments. Like, what I notice in Bloodsport is like everyone celebrates like prematurely, like that trucker guy, and then Bolo Young celebrates when he blinds Jean-Claude Van Damme instead of attacking. So I just like imagine like Gail and John, I believe, just going like, John's like, you know what happens when I do things prematurely? And Gail's like, oh, I bet you do that all the time, John. You know, like just, ragging on each other, like, the sumo just got his nuts punched. Yeah.
I imagine that when
felt
Bolo
like that
Young,
last night.
when Bolo Young is crushing the pill out in broad daylight and then throws the dust, they'd be making jokes about roofies and frat houses.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that reminds me of that reminds you, Gail, of the party you went to last week.
Actually, I don't remember, John. I got roofied.
But then I pictured the girls in Pitch Perfect and guys just kind of like looking at the judges like disapproving parents. Like they really want their approval, but the judges just sit there all stoic. And like, you know, they either nod their head no or, you know, nod their head yes. You know, like they can just crush their souls with no. Like the Sakapella group would hate those judges because they would just tell them no. But I would just love them to keep cutting to the judges in Pitch Perfect because they would just be sitting there and not moving. I love that.
So like the judges, they only talk a few times, but like they talk to explain like when Van Damme says that he represents Shidoshi Tanaka, and he's like, the judges are basically like, really, dog, Shidoshi Tanaka, you're not Japanese. That's like reading between the lines where it's like, come on, bro, Shidoshi Tanaka, you're claiming to be an American with a Belgian accent. I don't think so. And then he's like, no, really, Shidoshi Tanaka. And they're like, all right, bro, show me the death touch. Show me the DMAC, right? So they are qualifying invitations. And then after Van Damme shows them this magic like death touch trick with the bricks, right? And they challenge him and everything. They're like, we will honor your invitation. So not only are these guys like the judges, the overseers, and possibly the past champions, they're also the ushers and the bouncers who are checking invitations. Like,
and they're kind of sassy too with that eye roll that they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, ugh.
To Donald Gibbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like these guys, like, and when they disapprove of you, they don't say things. So when you give your presentation and you're listening to the radio and you want to hear what the commentators say, you might hear them budge when they stand up to turn their backs to you. So I was really curious, though. I wanted to know more about these guys. So, like, what's their backstory? They probably are past winners, probably, right? But, like, where's their movie? Like, so I looked these guys up on IMDb, and two interesting things came to light. First off, there's not even a subtle nod to past movies. These guys have all been in zero. The guy in the ring has been in a few movies, but all three of the judges who stand up and turn their backs and question the DMAC and honor the invitation, none of them have been in a single movie before, and only one of the three was in a movie afterwards. Ooh. And on top of that, none of the judges are even given names. They're listed as official. Each one of them, like they should be wearing a black and white striped shirt. And what I noticed what is also funny is that when I was scrolling through IMDb, there are 4 people listed as officials, the ring official and those 3 dudes, right? Well, there's also 7 people listed as special lady. Which were the girls in like the New York City club dresses who were accompanying the wealthy audience members. But like these judges were given no more special naming than these special ladies who basically looked like hookers next to ugly rich guys.
And they ran this tournament too. They were the bouncers, they were the custodians, they were the
Think about other than the ring guy. And those three are checking invitations. They're honoring. They're checking people's like credits, right? Their street cred. Who else was there? There's one dude at a door who says, "Okay, USA." That's it. That's the extent of their security. They have nothing. If anyone can get into this place,
I think Gail would love being an announcer for Bloodsport. Don't you think so?
First off, I think she'd be commenting a lot about the glistening, sweaty, shiny muscles and Van Damme's butt.
What would they have to say about Bolo Young waiting several minutes for JCVD to figure out his surroundings?
I feel like I keep thinking of being roofied when I see that now. When I think of Gail, it's like, oh no, JCVD, you call on your girl. You call on your girl. I need an adult.
I want to riff tracks with the two of them talking over the fights.
What about the punch to the balls? I feel like that because John was really physical even when he was announcing for acapella. Does he get up and like step back and like and then on the other side, like Pitch Perfect has vomiting on the stage. Do the judges just stand up and turn around for that?
Yeah, they would just nod their head no.
Do they actually come out and say, like, you dishonor me?
Do you think they would be tapping their feet? There would be a sequence where they cut to them and their little feet are tapping underneath.
That's right, because they're like at the end when the girls are winning in the final season, like the judges are bobbing their heads a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Tapping the feet. I love it.
Would they try? You know how they tested Van Damme, right? When these girls come up, because don't forget in Pitch Perfect, first they had that embarrassing that embarrassing display at the beginning of the movie. And then they're trying to make a comeback after they were playing The Sign again, and like, really, you're playing The Sign at Nationals again? Like, would the judges be like, girls, you are playing The Sign? I'm being racist now, but maybe, but whatever. These are old school Asian dudes. Girls, you're playing The Sign again. Are you really championship material? Prove it with the Aka Mak. Like, do they have a thing where they like make the girls prove themselves or something?
Like a kumite?
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like there should be something that, I don't know. These Asians were doing pretty much everything.
Yeah. So yeah, Let's make it.
Lazabeth, the two white guys are talking a lot about Asians right now.
Right. So, the commentators from Pitch Perfect are an interesting choice, but if I want to see like a new set of commentators in Bloodsport, I want to see the commentators from Dodgeball with Pepper Brooks and with Pepper and Cotton. He's like, oh, he's going for the head kick. That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how that plays out.
While we're at it, I'd want to go all the way back and say basketball.
Yeah.
That's omoplata.
Oh, there's been a lot of good commentating teams and movies throughout the years, actually.
All right, that'll be a podcast in a couple months.
Yeah.
Or even the commentators from Major League.
Oh, yeah. Just a bit outside. Bob Uecker. Oh, man, I love that movie. All right, so I was actually, this is going to sound random, but I was talking to DJ, who you guys know. He's a friend of the pod, friend of ours. And we were talking about, like, switching Wild Thing for Henry Rowan-Gardner from Rookie of the Year in Wild Things. We were talking about switching to Pork Chop Express for Optimus Prime.
Oh, my God, that's so meta.
Yeah, like, it was awesome. But at the end, we decided upon Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China for Jack O'Connell in The Mummy. And the reason I did this is people love both of these movies. And so, like, I just put a clip of The Mummy on Reddit and got, like, 4,000 upvotes. I put a clip on Big Trouble in Little China, got, hundreds, like, 1,000 plus. People love these two characters. But I just want to see Jack Burton in The Mummy. Because, in The Mummy, Brendan Fraser was like an Indiana Jones kind of guy. Like, he had some mess-ups, but, like, he was very capable. I just want to see Jack Burton rolling around the desert with Rachel Weisz and her brother, just going like, I didn't sign up for this, sister. Like, maybe he's like he transports gold, like, because I guess he was a trucker in Big Trouble in Little China, but he transports stuff. And, like, he had been to Amunatra, which is from Spectre, actually, the same location. But I just think it'd be funny watching him, like, and also DJ made this thing where in The Mummy, all of his sidekicks kind of leave him, Brendan Fraser. But in Big Trouble in Little China, it's the sidekicks who save the day. So I want to see what Jack Burton does with all of his sidekicks kind of leaving him. Like, I want to see Jack Burton riding a camel. I want to see Jack Burton, like, flying away from a massive sandstorm and having no idea what is going on and just failing his way up. And if you think about it, The Mummy both involves the kidnapping of women. So, Rachel Weisz and then the women with the green eyes in Big Trouble in Little China. And then both villains die when they become mortal at the end and get stabbed by knives or knives thrown in their faces. So, I mean, there are some parallels there. And Brendan Fraser said that he didn't take himself too seriously in The Mummy. He's like, otherwise the audience can go on that journey with him. So both guys kind of know the drill. So I'd love to see them swap just because I love both movies and I can watch them any time of the day. But it would give me something new. Just watching Jack Burton running around the sand with like his sleeveless T-shirt, having no idea what's going on and riding a camel. Like, that's just, I would pay $100 to watch that.
I mean, they both fail up a lot, don't they?
Yeah, and but you know what's funny though? Like there's a scene in The Mummy where oh man, what's his name? Oh man, the guy that keeps screwing with Brendan Fraser, but he's like, hey O'Connell, I got all the horses, and then O'Connell's like, hey, I'm on the right side of the river. So like he kind of gets lucky, O'Connell a lot, and he does survive.
Was that after the sandstorm?
No, that was after they attacked the boat.
Oh, that's right, okay.
And I just want to see Jack Burton just going listen, lady, I have no idea what's going on here. When she explains something smart to him, he's like, listen, lady, I have no idea what you're talking about. And just him riding around with the nerdy Rachel Weisz, and fighting an all powerful mummy and having no idea what, because he was freaking out a lot in Big Trouble in Little China. But in The Mummy, Brendan Fraser, he still had those sly looks, but he kind of took care of business. So the movies would change drastically, and I would love that about both of them. So,
yeah. Fraser, he tended to fail up, but still it was failing up relying on his skill, whereas Jack Burton was failing up out of total luck.
He had the help from all his friends.
And all the things you were saying too, even when you're look, listen, lady, I could immediately picture on a split screen each of those guys in that situation. It fits both characters pretty well. And I'd love to see Brendan Fraser go through 20 minutes of a movie with that lipstick smear on his face.
Yeah.
They both have that. I see that.
And he's a nicer guy. He would have stayed with Kim Cattrall. He would have liked her. But at the end, Jack Burton would have left Rachel Weisz, to go back trucking.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser liked Rachel Weisz a lot, but Jack Burton would have been I don't want to get tied down. I don't need another ex-wife. It's this just would have been another adventure in his life. So,
there's a scene where Brendan Fraser throws Rachel Weisz off the boat.
Yeah.
But Kurt Russell overboard. He's been there, done that. Didn't work out with Goldie Hawn as well as I wanted it to.
That's right.
He's I'm just leaving Kim Cattrall.
But I just love that all of his sidekicks in Big Trouble in Little China saved him. He did basically nothing except kill the guy at the end with the knife when he was mortal. So I just want to see a Jack Burton who gets betrayed by all of his sidekicks. Because he would be screwed. He would be done.
I can see him stumbling across another Book of the Dead, just on that does everything.
Yeah, he would too. And he'd be like, "What is this mumbo jumbo here?" Yeah. But he's different from Ash though in Evil Dead, because Ash is just a total blowhard, in Army of Darkness, who just has utter confidence and is just a terrible human being. But Jack Burton still has some humanity to him. So I don't know. I just want this movie, and they kind of they have similarities, so you probably could swap them. He's just a guy that, transported stuff to that place, but everyone got killed, so they hired him back because he was in jail. Or no, he had a lot of parking tickets, and they paid off his parking tickets, and he had to go with them to Amun-Ra or whatever and deal with all these mummies. I just love it. I love this idea. And also, Brendan Fraser's great, man. He needs a comeback.
I miss him. He's been doing a lot of weird, serious, independent, or just plain weird, infrequent movies the last 10 or 12 years. Other than the Mummy sequels,
Yeah. So for me, this was just kind of a bring back Brendan Fraser thing for me to push. Hashtag Brendan Fraser.
Maybe they'll cast him in the Big Trouble in Little China remake.
Oh my goodness.
You don't know.
He could be Egg.
Egg Shen.
He could be Nog.
Speaking of Egg Shen, isn't I think the actor's name is Victor Wong.
Yeah.
And there is a totally different Victor Wong who plays an unnamed fighter in Bloodsport. Just saying.
I like it. Good
totally random. Hey, by the way, this is not on the topic of swaps, but on Reddit with your post, there were some people who wanted to suggest that the 1999 Brendan Fraser The Mummy was not a remake. And I just wanted to slap the shit out of every single one of them, because the only reason that all this stuff happened in the 1999 version that didn't happen in the 1932 version is because we have CGI and we can do more. But both movies, and I wrote a post actually about The Mummy God, almost a year ago when I was joking about the mistaken identity issue that happens in it. In the original Mummy, a mummified, punished architect priest is mummified, right? And then when he comes back, when he's accidentally resurrected, he sees a woman who resembles his love when he was alive and seeks her to be with her. In this one, another mummy by the name of Imhotep, who was punished and mummified, comes back. And in this case, they changed it up a little bit. He's like, yo, I want my past love, and Rachel Weisz specifically is going to be the woman that I sacrifice for it. And that's my focus. And then in both movies, as the movie progressed, the mummy got more human.
Like, and they're both universal. Like, they're both universal properties. Like,
but you don't get to tell me that, oh, you don't get to call them remakes because there are a few things in common. If the mummy gets more human over time in the movie while he's trying to reunite with his past love, both of them are named Imhotep, and both of them were mummified by punishment and not honor, which is really unusual in Egyptian history, I think it's pretty clear. And by the way, what other mummy movie did any of this?
Yeah. And I made a nice little case about it, but then everyone was just like, downvote.
No. That dude, like, he was missing the big picture by a lot. He's basically like, yo, there was a Scorpion King, so it couldn't have been a remake. I'm like, dude, shut up. I all but found that guy's name just so I could say him over the podcast and be like, everyone find this and downvote it. But no, I won't go there. I'll be the bigger man and just realize he doesn't know what he's talking about. But if you're listening, Reddit downvoter, I know I'm on to you. I'm on to you.
All right. Well, before we all get back to Reddit, I think we all have some plugs to make, right?
Yeah. Movies on the Flicks podcast. Subscribe, rate, review, listen to us, send us listener questions. Love everything about us.
Nice.
Sure. You can find us on Twitter. We are at Movies, Films, Flicks with an X, and also at MFF Horror Corner. That's for Movies, Films, and Flicks Horror Corner, John's Horror Corner. And check out Shark Dropper. Shark Dropper has a whole lot of different podcasts. We are just one under their umbrella.
Very big umbrella.
Ever-growing umbrella.
Yeah.
How many podcasts you got, John?
10.
10? I thought you were going to say like 5.
No, 10, actually. I think that was the latest number that was given to me, actually. But, yeah, you can find all 10 of them on Blog Talk, iTunes, sharkdropper.com, wherever. Tinder, maybe. Who knows?
And also, guys, we're Tinder. We're
you're going to swipe right for Shark Dropper?
Yes, please swipe right.
We're nearing our 50th podcast here, in a couple months. And if you guys have any Kurt Russell questions, send them our way.
That's right. It's all Kurt Russell, episode 50.
So send us Kurt Russell questions. We want to answer them.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. For my co-host, Mark Hoffmeyer.
Razzle frazzle frickin' fracka.
John Levingood.
You filthy animal.
Thank you so much for listening. I've been your host, John Lossoff, and we'll see you guys next time.
Target. T-minus 5 seconds till shark drop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the shark! Go! 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 This podcast is a Shark Dropper Studios production.